I'm going to have to splice this video together because I accidentally hit the stop button instead of the pause because I put the timer on my fireplace here and it went off. And anyhow, I'm going to have to splice these together. You did a live, and now I'm lost my train of thought. You did a live and said that TT stole your attorney, and it was going to be the one that you were going to hire, that you were going to get, but she stole it, and that she paid for it. She retained that attorney because, you know, they said it was a conflict of interest, and she had to have paid for him, but she was taking everybody's money even though she already paid for him. Well, first off, you can't retain you didn't have the money to retain. How could you hire this attorney when you didn't have the money for it? You didn't have enough in your funds, you know, that $1,400 or $1,500 that you needed. You didn't have enough to retain that attorney. Okay, sorry. So you might have talked to an attorney that she was going to get, but you didn't have enough money at all to be able to retain that attorney. Now, TT already said that she was going to, whoever she talked to, she already did an agreement with them that even if she didn't raise enough, she was going to put her own money in it. And she already told the attorney, I guess, that, you know, I'm going to retain you no matter what. They were already going to, she already made the agreement to go in the next day to pay him. Okay? So she didn't give him the money ahead of time, or didn't give him the money the day that you said that she did, and that you know this for a fact, and she proved you wrong. Because she showed her proof. She showed it. All right? So you were assuming. What do they say when you assume, right? It was a conflict of interest, but she stole your attorney. You still don't have enough money for an attorney. You don't. Maybe you should have thought about that before you went ahead and took out, you know, try to take out this order. That, hey, I might need to get an attorney first. I mean, you really don't need an attorney to take out the order. You can do it without one. But she didn't steal your attorney. Now, there's so many different lies that I'm going to miss. Absolutely. Because I don't have it wrote down in front of me. I don't. But the wish list again. Now she's complaining that people are messing with the wish list and they're stalking the wish list. Why are you stalking it? Leave me alone. But she said that wish list was satire, right? It wasn't real. It was just to piss off Granny. And the thing is, she's like, why are you even checking out my wish list? Everybody has a wish list. But yet she was taking screenshots. She's dropping that wish list continuously, right? And she was taking screenshots. Oh, you guys got to check out my wish list. And she's making these funny comment things and taking screenshots of it, right? And putting it on her community post. And especially about the Crocs, because everybody knows that Jessica likes Crocs. So it was little digs at Jessica about the wish list. So when people take a look at it, oh, you're stalking me, but you're telling people to go look at it, right? Now, like I said, I am missing a lot. But TT has kind of went silent on her channel because when you have something like this going on, that's the best thing to do. I mean, you can still talk a little bit here and there or whatever, but the best thing to do is not say too much about what's going on. people should, they tried to tell Moon this, but she just won't stop. And she thinks, that I don't know, that things that were said to Lindsay or done to Lindsay is going to be a part of this case. Don't think so. That's not how it works. Lindsay would have to get her own case, start her own fundraiser, and take people to court. Waste the court's time. But she goes on, and, this is, like I said, it's been nonstop. And I don't know how much a judge is going, because there are so many videos, but it is clear, and it would be clear to a judge, as much as she is talking directly to TT. We're going to leave Jessica out of this right now. As much as she is talking to TT, that there is no fear, okay? She's calling her what? A hoe, bitches, all sorts of things. Does that sound like anybody that is scared of somebody? Because normally you don't poke somebody that you're scared of. You kind of don't say anything to them. You don't say anything. You kind of just keep your distance, stay away, get your order, maybe let them dig their hole and gather your evidence and let them keep going live and saying what they're saying. But no, this is Moon that keeps doing it and keeps doing it, right? Not them. Well, I should say this one's on TT, not TT. She came in and showed her proof. And here's another thing that Moon said. While she cries, and this is a thing, she does her crying and then she can stop it like that. And she reminds me of Leticia Collins. She did the same thing. She could bring on those tears real quick and then stop it just like that. Right? And she gained a lot of subs doing that. I noticed Moon gained 100 subs? And she says, well, I can't be monetized because I do copyright music. Well, you can stop that copyright music. You sure can, and get monetized. Leticia gained subs like crazy because of her erratic behavior. She was a train wreck that people could not stop watching. And even though her lies were just so out there, she still had people believing her and sending her money continuously through Cash App. Letting her, put her up in a motel, buy her pot. She's sitting in jail for her lies. That's where she's sitting. She's been in jail for over 3 months now. And she just got a couple of more charges for assaulting a peace officer while in jail. But anywho, she's sitting in jail for lies that she told on somebody else. But that's who she reminds me of. Because she can bring on those tears and then stop them so quick and then start cussing them out. Leticia said the same thing. I'm scared to death of these people. I'm scared to death of them. And then she just goes on and on and on, And we hear Moon saying, I'm doing this all for you guys too. I'm doing it all for you guys. Please, please. She's literally begging for these funds. Now, back to this wish list. She says that it's not really a real wish list. You can donate if you want. She even says some of the things are for her daughter. Okay. But the thing is, like I said, if you were afraid, you wouldn't be poking and poking and poking and calling the person you're afraid of the most hideous things online for everybody to hear, including a judge, right? Including a judge. And calling the person some really vile, nasty stuff. And that's what you're doing. This is all the things that a judge might be hearing. Now, she said the police are watching all these videos, TT's videos, Granny's videos, her videos. Like I said, I don't think TT has went live. Now, she started the tears. She's like, every time I go live, TT's going live. And that is a lie. TT set up her live for hours to give an update on the transparency of the money. It was set up because I listened to that, right? And I was waiting to listen to it, I mean, not literally sitting there, I knew what time it was going to come on. She had it set up for a while. And when she went live on it, then Moon went live afterwards while TT was live. So no, that was a lie. And she keeps saying, they're contacting my kids. Leave my kids alone. Leave me alone. How many videos has TT in this 2-week span has TT and Granny done compared to Moon? Or a community post? Who is doing what to who right now? See, I can't say, I'm not an expert. I can't say what a judge is going to look at, but I don't think they're going to go all the way back a year and say, oh, well, she said this to them a year ago. Now, I think they're going to look at what's happening right now. That's just my opinion. And they're going to look at who's keeping their mouth shut and who's not. Who's saying what to who, how they're talking, what they're saying, and if somebody's acting like they're scared for their life. Right? I could be wrong. Like I said, not a judge, I'm not an attorney. But I have went through, I already said before, way, way, way back, I went through this with my ex-husband. I sure the hell didn't poke no bear. I kept my distance. I sure didn't antagonize him or anything like that because I was in real fear for my life. There's a lot of people out there that are in real fear for their lives. And I was in real fear for the safety of my children. My children were with me. Okay? So I was in fear for them. Now, she also put out there that they're contacting her kids. Contacting her kids. Now, the ones in prison, she says that she's going to have to protect him too. I don't get that. I don't know what TT or Granny can do to someone that is in prison. And if y'all want to say that I'm talking about someone's kids, then have at it, because you guys like to twist things. Anyways, this is what she has put out there. I'm not talking about anything else but what she has put out there. Okay? She also, the disgusting things that she was saying about Granny, how she wants her son's D, okay? And that he is so much better than her. She's, Granny is below her son. I don't know how old her son is. I don't think he's, I know he's an adult. I don't think he's that old. That's pretty disgusting for her to say that. And she's like, yeah, you seen him, because, she put the pictures up there. All the ladies want it. I'm sorry, honey. Okay? He's in prison. If you say so. And yeah, I'm being kind of ugly there. But, I'm just going to say it. I don't know the story behind what he did. Except he's in prison for murder, right? That's what you put out there, or what was said. I know that there's women out there that are interested in men that are in prison. Have at it. But not anybody that's got any self-respect or wants a real life, because what can you do? What kind of relationship, real relationship, could you have with somebody that's in prison? Okay? Just saying. That's not really a real relationship. Just, whatever. So that was disgusting, okay? Because I don't know how old he is, but I would think because she said that she's 40, so he can't be that old. So moving along, she's saying that people are contacting her kids. Well, we know that, probably not the one, right? Because he's in prison. Don't know about, the adult child. I don't know how many kids she has. But then she's talking about the minor. But she puts up a message that she sent to her child. Now, she wants to argue like it makes a difference. I think Granny said that she did this on Christmas, and she keeps wanting to argue the fact that it was the day before Christmas. Who cares? So Granny got it wrong. It was the day before Christmas and not Christmas. Does it matter? Okay? The fact is you lied. All right? Because in that message, you are asking your minor if these people are contacting her. And she says right on there, no. And then you ask, are they contacting your aunt? And you say, or she says, I'm sorry. She says, no. So right there, she is specifically saying that nobody is contacting her or her guardian or whoever's taking care of her. But you are still screaming, leave my kids alone. Quit contacting them. But that just verified that no one is contacting them. Right? You put out proof. So who cares if it was Christmas or the day before Christmas or the day after Christmas? That doesn't matter. Okay? What matters is nobody's contacting your minor child or your aunt, and you should be grateful. That should put your mind at ease that nobody should ever contact them. But yet you keep going with the same. And that's another thing. Your supporters see this and they know it. They know that you put that out there. And yes, To the Moon, I don't know if she was on anything, but she was slurring. Okay? She was saying, I remember one thing that I heard. She said, I didn't pay for lies. I know she was trying to say a lawyer. I didn't pay for any lies. She did say that on one of her videos. Instead of lawyer. I'm not going to, and I know some of the videos went to private or whatever. A lot of videos did. I'm sure that the other side or whatever has downloaded them all or whatever. But yeah, she did say that. She got nasty with a lot of her own people trying to tell her, you know, don't be talking about all this stuff. Just gather your evidence and give it to the proper authorities, to your, attorney if you get one, or to the judge. She wasn't having that because they weren't donating. makes you wonder why. So, like I said, there were so many other lies, and I wish I would have wrote them all down, but I didn't. Okay? So we're going to talk about calling the police. She said that they're stalking her police department. They are stalking by calling her police. And she's like, they were calling her police around the same time she was calling them. She even said that. Not in the same words, but basically saying that. No. After she was called, after she called them, and she said that she was calling them, right? And that she made reports on both of them. She said she was doing it on all three. So that's when Granny called. And yes, she had to call because she didn't know exactly where she was at. So she had to call to find out exactly who she needed to speak to. And here's my thing about it. And people were like, oh my gosh, Granny says she doesn't go real life, and TT says she doesn't go real life, but they're calling all around to find out who to call. But here's the thing. If someone makes a report on you, right? They make a report on you, you have every right to call that police department that they made a report on you and give your side of the story, find out what was said so that you can go legal, or, like I said, give your side of the story or find out what was said. You have every right to do that. That is not going real life, okay? It is not. It's a different story if you are calling somebody's police department and trying to get them in trouble for BS or whatever, trying to do welfare checks for no reason, trying to do all that. That's totally different. But she is the one that made reports on them, right? They had every right to find out where these reports were done at, give their side of the story, find out what was going on, get the information so that they could go legal if they had to, or just to give their side of the story and find out what was going on. You all that support Moon would have done the same damn thing, and you know it. And you have every right to if someone does that to you. I know I would. If someone did that to me, you best believe I would be calling and finding out what was said about me and gathering the information so I could give it to my attorney, and so that I can go and do what I need to do to protect myself. Because Moon has been out of control, and you all know it, for the past couple of weeks. That's not going real life. That's not stalking. She's the one that made the reports, right? And now she's claiming, and she did say that, the judge and the police, the chief of police or the police, they go golfing together. She's making those claims. So what is she trying to say? What is she trying to say? What is she accusing them of? I'm sure the judge would like to know that. They would like to hear that clip that, this isn't going to be fair because, they're in cahoots with each other, right? And she's already going to ask for a change of venue. She said a change of place, but it's a change of venue. Because she's not going to get a fair shake there, because she has called the police, it seems like, so many times. They're fed up with her. They're fed up because, in my opinion, they seen the lies. They caught the lies. I don't know how many times she has went to the police or called the police. But we heard that, quote, welfare check, right? And her supporters wanted to argue with that and say it was real, okay? And I'm sorry, that that was fake. That was so fake. They're not going to do a welfare check and you refuse to open the door and then, okay, I'm going to go. Okay, they just don't do that. And when she was called out about that it was fake, I mean, she completely made sure, and you could hear the door open and her saying, well, I didn't open the door. You can hear it, right? And when she was called out about people saying that was as fake as can be, right? Then she comes up with this, and then when Granny did that, taping of, or calling the police or whatever, and finding out that, they said that didn't happen, that nobody was out there, then she comes up with the story. She comes up with the story that the police told her that she needed to go to a motel. And this is when, she already had that legal fund. This is when she got that first $200. That she needed to go to a motel because they never sent anybody out. There was nobody that came out that, that was a stranger. Stranger danger, right? So now the story is, oh my gosh, they must have hired somebody. They must have sent somebody, out of state. Like I said, I'm sure they like their money. Somebody, I don't know, they must have drove all the way, out of state to her place, or they just happened to know somebody that lives in her tiny town to do this fake welfare, impersonate a police officer, which is against the law, by the way. And I'm sure that they downloaded that clip too. They downloaded that. I mean, you could tell that was fake. Fake as F, okay? I'm sure they got that downloaded too so that they can give that to the judge or the officers, right? Because, in my opinion, she had somebody close to her do that. Now, even Lycan said on his channel after he heard that little thing go down that he doesn't like fake stuff happening. He knew it was fake. He knew she was lying, in my opinion. He knew it. But, he's going with the flow. He's just going with it. In my opinion, again, because he does not like Granny. I don't know if he knows too much about TT, but he cannot stand Granny. So he's going to side with Moon, and he's going to play along with this BS. I see he's got a wrench in there. Lycan, you're a smart dude, okay? You are not stupid by any means. You're very intelligent. And you know this game that she's playing is all bullshit, okay? You know it's fake as F. You're very intelligent, all right? And you know it's all fake. You know it's stupid. You know that none of this is happening, right? She also said she was going to go and, well, let's see. The police said that never happened. She had to go get out. Now, she's the one that put it out there, not I, that, she lives on her parents' property in this tiny home, and that her parents live on the property, and another relative. I don't know if I was scared for my life. If some strange dude showed up at my house and they said they were the police, and I find out they weren't, I think I would be trucking it to my parents' place, Or she said another relative lived there on the property too. I'd be just staying the night there, especially if I'm so upset like she is. I would want to be surrounded by someone that cared about me. And I don't know, I'd be scared, you know? Shoot, some stranger come into my house saying that they're the police and open up my door. And, I'm a single woman. No, I'd be pretty scared, right? And she said she couldn't afford a motel. I mean, she just had this donation, to the legal fund. I don't know. She said she was going to go. I don't know how much the motels are there in the tiny place. I mean, I live in a big city. I could get one for under $200, but I don't know. But I think I would have went to my parents' house for the night, for a couple of nights maybe, saying, hey, Ma, Pa, the strange guy showed up, whatever. Now, I don't know if she had a welfare check the night before. That's none of my business. She said she didn't. But she got busted, okay? It was called out before she had to backpedal. That was fake. So then she had to go to the hospital. Now, she's blaming this all on everybody. She basically said that it might be self-harm. I'm having these thoughts, but, it was a kidney stone. And now I'm having these pseudo seizures. It's all your guys' fault. Well, nobody can cause a kidney stone. Sorry. Nobody can cause that, but, your own body doing that. But you could tell, you could tell that something was going on. The way she was slurring, could be lack of sleep. Don't know. Now, she also said, quit calling my PO officer. You guys are calling him. You're calling him. You're calling him. Then she states, well, thank you. He said nobody called. But then stop calling my PO. Stop calling him. You just said that he said nobody called. So which is it? Are they calling? Or are they not calling? I mean, it's just never ending. And like I said, you supporters are seeing this. You're absolutely seeing it. You know she is lying out of her ass. All right? You know it. But because you don't like TT and because you don't like Granny, you're going to support this train wreck. And you know it's not healthy for her, okay? Because she's spiraling out of control. Spiraling. Some of you even try to talk her down, but she's getting angry with you. Right? She's getting angry. She's not listening to your advice. She didn't listen to Natasha's. But, Natasha doesn't like Granny or TT either. And Natasha was using, some of it for content. And I said, you don't use a child's death for content. I don't care if you can read it from a newspaper article or whatever. Not when they're in this community. And I know people are like, well, this is a true crime and this is a true crime and this child, whatever. This isn't a true crime. All right? This isn't a true crime. This is somebody in this community that lost their child. Don't try to compare. And, Natasha said, well, TT went to prison. Do you have that conviction? Do you have that information in you that she went to prison? I don't see anybody putting out a conviction. So I had dogs. I had to put it on pause. My dogs were going crazy. So now I lost my train of thought on where I left off. So this doesn't make sense. I do apologize. Just going to have to go with the flow. So anyways, like I said, or I don't know what I said. So we're just going to go. I think I was talking about, I would be scared. I would be scared, and I would be staying with a family member, that lived close by or whatever. But, that's not the case. And then we see her, saying, well, I'm going to be feeding on Christmas, I'm going to be feeding I guess, the VA or whatever. And then, no, it got, the weather was so bad, it got, because it was cold. It was very cold here, too. The wind chill was down negative, I believe it got negative 30. And she's like, well, it got pushed off because people were questioning, oh, it got pushed off till the next day. Well, it was very cold and stuff here, but people still needed to eat, right? So none of that got pushed off. None of the meals for our homeless or for our VA got pushed off until the next day because they still needed to eat. And it was Christmas. So, and she never mentioned it again. She never mentioned about, feeding. I don't even know why she mentioned it. Well, I'm going to go do a good deed while none of you guys are. I don't know. But like I said, and then she, was going to go do another hospital visit. I don't know. Pulling at the heartstrings, and then please people donate, donate, donate. And then here's my wish list. Here's my, it's just a fake wish list. But, if you feel in your heart to donate, and then we got, again, I'm going to have to sell my place. I'm going to have to sell it because, you guys put out where I live. Now, I didn't see that. If someone put out where she lived, I know she put out, the town. I don't know if somebody actually put out her address. I didn't see any of that. If they did, they shouldn't have. But seriously, you're going to have to sell your tiny home. I mean, you already stated that you're on your parents' property. I mean, you do have family right there. In my opinion, I don't see anybody messing with you. But if you feel like that's what you got to do, then that's what you got to do. I don't know. But I think a lot of this is woe me, pity me. I'm so scared, but yet I'm going to go on YouTube a couple of times a day and call these people that I'm scared of every name in the book. I'm going to put these videos out. I'm going to say the most vile, disgusting things that I can say about them. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep poking and poking and poking about the people that we are deathly scared of. That really makes a lot of sense. And then, she stated that people contact her son's fiance. Really. And she said she was going to have her on. She was going to come live. And that didn't happen either, did it? I mean, it's always something. It's something. They did this, they did that. I mean, pretty major stuff. Pretty major accusations. So, it still kills me where she's saying that, they stole. And when she was saying that to Natasha, they stole my attorney. And Natasha just went along with it. Well, what do you expect? Now, I'm sorry. I know Natasha doesn't like any of these people, but to say that instead of saying, you can't steal someone's attorney because you didn't have the money to pay for the attorney. And then we seen that paperwork too, right? For a retainer on the attorney, or that paperwork she put out. Well, this is what I'm gonna get this attorney, and that attorney didn't even exist. And I don't even know what her excuse was for that, but she didn't have the money. And did she just expect that it was just going to magically appear that people were going to donate? I mean, you can hope that they'll donate. Now, TT already put it out there. If, I don't get the donations, I'm going to be paying for it anyways, right? I'm going to make sure, because I'm going to have to. I'm going to fight this. I can let it go if I want to, but no, I'm going to fight it. So I'm going to be, no matter what, if I get the donations or not, I'm going to pay for it out of my own pocket. But she's already put out there, Moon, I don't have the money. I think she even said before she doesn't have the money to even feed herself. So I don't have the money. So how would she have tried to get an attorney. To, if if people didn't donate to her, or if they still don't, she does not have money to whatever. So she is saying that she's going to try for a continuance on this. And in my opinion, because she doesn't have the money for an attorney. Now, I don't know how this will go. She might go into court and try and say, well, I don't have I don't have the funds to get an attorney. And they might just, TT's attorney might just say, hey, this BS is going online every single day on my client. And, we don't want a continuance, or we want this to go. She had plenty of, well, not really plenty of time, but, she had the same, she had a fund going to try to get an attorney as well. But, she just didn't get as many donations. She still has a chance. She still has a chance to get up there. She's up there to $900 and some now to get an attorney. But she's pretty busy on doing these videos. I mean, if you're a waitress, I don't know, work, get those tips. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these creators, it really kills me. They don't work, or and they tell everybody else to go get a job, right? But they're on YouTube. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But like I said, if I would have wrote down all the things that I could have pointed out that she has said and contradicted herself, this would have been a better thought out video. But I didn't. And that's my bad. I should have. Because there was a lot. There was a lot that I was going to discuss here. Because there's some people that don't even, they won't listen to both sides, right? They won't, because they won't go over. They won't listen to TT's videos. They won't listen to Granny's videos. And they just started, they won't listen to all of Moon's. They just support Moon now because, hey, she's in the same community I'm in, so I'm just going to support her. But they won't listen to all of it and see what's going on. They're just like, oh, okay, well, I'm here to support you. I believe everything you say, even though if you listen to all of it, it's a bunch of nonsense. It's a bunch of nonsense. And here's the thing. If all these people, I mean, a lot of times she'll have way over 100, and I know some people, they're hate watchers. I listen because, I mean, I'm not a hate watcher. I listen to it because I talk about behaviors, right? But if a lot of the people that are in there, if you actually believed it, you supporters, if you actually believed this and didn't think it was a bunch of BS, then why aren't you donating? I mean, I understand times are hard, right? It's hard for everybody. But if you got, sometimes, it's been like 150 people in there, and, say 50 people are hate watchers. But if you have 100 people in there that are actually supporting you, I mean, Lycan's got a pretty decent sized community, right? And if everybody just donated $5, what's $5? $3. But just say $5. I mean, you could throw away $5. A lot of people do memberships, right, on a monthly. But $5, if you really believed in the cause, if you believed all her BS, that her life is in danger, that her children's lives are in danger, if you believe that her Cash App card got hacked into, that people are hacking in and finding out, where her child is and, what her child's laptop is, and that they're causing her to have these seizures and kidney stones, and that it was they hired or sent a fake person to impersonate a cop to her house, even though they live out of state. They don't live in the same state. And they're doing all of this recently. I'm talking about just this last 2 weeks. And they're doing all of this stuff to her, and they're contacting her minor child and her aunt, even though, we see it, she put it out herself, that this never, her child said, this isn't happening. They're not contacting me. They're not contacting the aunt. But if you're all believing all this, then why are you not donating? Like I said, even $5. I'm sure that we all blow $5 and we're not going to miss that $5, right? We're not. We can blow that in a day, buying junk, buying, a bottle of Mountain Dew's what now? Go to the gas station, $2 and some odd cents, grabbing coffee, whatever. So $5 really isn't nothing. So if you get 100 people in there just to donate $5, what is that? 500, if I'm doing my math right. Kind of suck at math, but still, I'm just saying, $5, you're not going to miss $5. You're really not. If you really believed. But she's not getting that. She got a big donation. It was like a $500 donation? If she wouldn't have had that big donation, don't know who it was, don't care. She wouldn't have hardly anything. Hardly anything. So now she says she's going to go after Jessica Lynn too. So that's going to be some more money she needs. So how long is she going to make the continuance go? Well, she's going after TT right now. Now, TT did say she's going to ask for Moon to pay her attorney fees. And I'm sorry, this is just my opinion again. This is how I'm going to see it go down. I don't see the judge looking at all this back and forth, tit for tat, or stuff that happened a year ago, or stuff that might be saying to the DeLorean or to other people. They're just going to look at what is happening between TT and To the Moon, okay? And not from a year ago, because they're going to be saying, they might look at a few things, but they're going to be saying, why didn't you do something a year ago if you were scared for your life, okay? And To the Moon is going to have to prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that her children are being threatened under, and this is perjury. Is her aunt willing to, if it's not happening, I'm saying if it's not happening, put it on the line, with perjury. And yes, they can look and see if things are faked, screenshots. They can tell. They're not stupid, okay? If things are faked, and what is happening right now? Who is going after who? Who has been kind of silent? They're not dumb. These judges have, they deal with this stuff. These attorneys have dealt with stuff like this, okay? They are not stupid. And they are not going to listen through all these videos, all right? They're not. So they're going to pinpoint certain things that are happening. This is just my opinion. Certain things that are happening right now. I mean, they would be in court forever. Forever, right? They're going to see if there is any threats being made, literally threats on someone's life or on their children or whatever. And if they find in TT's favor, she's going to be asking for her attorney fees to be paid. And To the Moon's going to have to pay those, right? And she's not on disability. She hasn't put out there that she's on disability. So she is going to have to pay that. And if she doesn't pay it, if she starts working, they're going to guarantee her wages. So that's what you enablers that are pushing her to keep doing this and, dropping her legal funds and all that good stuff, all that's going to, have to go to TT if she wins this case. And if she does win this case, then she might have legal ground to go after her for a civil suit for harassment. Because if she wins this case, if To the Moon tries to go after her for a civil suit. That's, how's that going to work? That isn't going to work too good. And TT might be able to go after To the Moon for a protective order. Who knows? Because of everything she's been putting out lately. I don't know how that would go because, there's no, I don't know if there's any threats, on TT, but has been absolute harassment in the last couple of weeks. We have seen that. There has absolutely been harassment. So we'll just see what happens on the 4th, right? So before I end this, we're also going to talk to Moon about HPV. Now, I did a video way back. And Moon, you're a woman. You should know this. You absolutely should. And you tell everybody else to get educated, especially Granny. But you should know this yourself, being a woman. Because you're putting it out there as fact that you know and you don't. You keep saying that Jessica Lynn has an STD. And that she keeps talking, that she's got an STD because she has HPV. And like I said, I did a video way back on HPV. And as a woman, you should know. And having daughters, we should know about HPV. Well, even if you have sons, because it can affect sons too. Especially sons. It affects everybody. HPV is so common. Okay? You probably already have had it, right? It affects so many people. And HPV is not an STD, okay? Let's get that right. It's an STI. There's a difference. Absolutely a difference. Okay? You say, pick up a book, get educated. Maybe you need to get educated. Talk to a gynecologist. Find out the difference. One is a disease. The other one's an infection. All right? Also, HPV isn't always through sex. Okay? They say that it's most commonly transmitted, can be, whatever. Not all the time. You can also get it through skin contact, broken skin. You might never have sex with anybody. Even children can get HPV. That's why we have vaccinations for our daughters, even for our boys and stuff. That's why they recommend it, because it is so contagious and so many people get it. I think the last stats on it was 80 million. 1 in 4 will get HPV in their lifetime, and some never even know it. Now, here's another little bit of information, because I heard you say, oh my Lord, about Jessica Lynn, and she was going to meet up with Lycan, and she had HPV and didn't tell him, and he could bring assault charges to her. This is not HIV, okay? And if you look it up, go ahead and Google it. You do not have to tell a partner that you have HPV, okay? You can't get into any trouble because it's not an STD. It's an STI. And if you look it up, if you Google it, I dare ya, you do not have to tell your partner if you have HPV. Now, should you? I would say yeah. I would. Like I said, I would. I said that before in my other video. That's just something I would do. All right? If I had it. But the thing is, you don't. You don't have to. Don't Don't ask me why you don't have to. Probably because so many people have it. It is so dang common, and there is no cure for it. Okay? It's kind of bizarre that it says that, and that's the way it is. HPV is not, it's not like gonorrhea. It's not like, they're not going to ask you who all your partners are so they can contact them. It's not like that, okay? It's bizarre that so many women don't know what HPV is, okay? And then they want to keep saying warts, warts, warts. Only certain strands of HPV, there's many, many strands of HPV, okay? And only certain strands are going to give you genital warts. Only certain strands are going to lead to cervical cancer. Other strands of HPV, you'll never know you have HPV, okay? That's called getting an education, okay, like you want to say. So maybe pick up a book, like you want to say as well, or learn about your body. And HPV is nothing to joke about, because HPV is what leads to cervical cancer. And that's nothing to joke about. But some of y'all want to make fun of it. That is what causes cervical cancer. Almost all cervical cancer cases is because of HPV. So it's nothing to joke about, but you guys all want to laugh and hoo-ha about it. And a lot of you that are doing this, probably a lot of you that are doing it, I would say at least 50% of you have HPV and know it. But you're laughing about it because you don't like the person that has HPV and they said they have it, right? But you might have it and know it, and you're not saying a word because you don't want people saying anything about it, right? So just get educated on it, okay? And, you're the one, I mean, you're calling people hoes or whatever. You're the one that's putting it out there that you get the D more than anybody else. So, you're putting out that someone else has STDs. Yikes. That's all I got to say, okay? Because the other people aren't saying they're getting the D more than you. You're the one that's putting that out there. So just a little lesson again on HPV, since you're the one that wants to keep saying it over and over and over again. And then talking about another woman masturbating. Seriously? Seriously. Yeah, this is the woman that you're scared of. You're really scared of her. This is what I'm saying. This is what a judge might be hearing. This is what a judge might be hearing. But I'm going to go ahead and go. Like I said, I missed a lot that I was going to talk about. There was a lot more that I'm missing. A lot more. But I didn't write it all down. And I am actually going to have to put this, because I'm not going to be able to splice it into one video. I'm sorry. So this is actually going to be two different videos, part 1 and part 2, because they were so long. And we'll see what happens. But I actually hope, I really do, I hope that an example is made out of some people. Now, I do not agree with talking about anybody's children, going after anybody's children. If that was done to the moon, it should have never happened. If that was done, it shouldn't happen to anybody. And we shouldn't be putting crap out or saying some of the nasty, vile stuff she's been saying, okay? And a lot of people want to twist things, right? They want to twist it. And yes, I heard what Jessica Lynn said. I don't agree with it. She did say if Moon wanted to, if she, well, let me say this right. She said, if I came up on here, see, and Moon wanted to play that over and over and over. You didn't play the whole, I was listening to that live, okay? She said, if I came up on here on my panel, and if I said, if Moon wanted to unlive herself, I wouldn't give a F or whatever. Why am I held to a higher standard? See what they were talking about before that, but see, no. You guys don't want to play the whole thing. You just want to keep playing that over and over, and everybody's like, oh my God, that's so disgusting. That's so disgusting. What she was saying is, why am I held to a higher standard? Is because Lycan told her to unlive herself and how to. That's what was being talked about beforehand, right? Why is she's saying, why am I being held to a higher standard? This woman, talking about the Moon, has been going after me, saying that I am doing this, I am doing that, I'm contacting her kids, I am doing, she's talking about my hoo-ha, right? She's saying that I got STDs. She's saying that, all this nasty stuff that I want Lycan's D, that I want yada, yada, yada. Saying that she, called the police on me and did a report. So I don't care about her mental health. Now, I wouldn't say that about anybody. But then again, I don't know. I have to take that back. If somebody was doing the horrible things that Moon has been doing to TT and Jessica Lynn, would I be thinking it? Oh, yeah, I would be thinking it. I would be thinking, I don't care about them. Would I want somebody to hurt themselves? No, absolutely not. And I don't think anybody, including TT and Granny, want 2themoon to hurt herself. Okay? I don't think they want anything to happen to her. I think they want her to get help. They said that before, that they want her to get help. They want her friends to help, but she's not going to listen to anybody. She wouldn't even listen to Natasha. But at this point in time, like I said, what Granny was saying, because I was listening beforehand, she was saying, why am I held to a higher standard? Why am I held to a higher standard? Because the person she's hanging out with, sitting with, that is actually saying that she is, sleeping with them and doing all this stuff. See, that's another thing too. We're gonna talk about that. I was gonna end this, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about that. If he is allowed to say this about me, right? If he's allowed to say it, why are you guys holding me to a higher standard if I would get on here? And because Moon is saying that these people, this is what started it. Moon is saying that TT and Granny and Angela are wanting her to unlive herself. Okay? That's what she's saying. This seems to be another thing in this drama circle. Some of these creators are going around saying, these people want me to unlive myself. They're wanting me to hurt myself. That's what they're saying. So, she, the talk was about, what Lycan was doing. Why am I held to a higher standard when he actually told me to go do it? And how? And he also wished, that I would get into that I would actually die and get into a car wreck and get mangled. Why am I held to a higher standard if I would get on my panel and say that? And then she did say, I don't give a F about her or her mental health. So everybody wants to twist that and say, oh my God, that is so disgusting. That is so disgusting. But yet, all of you people that are saying that, you just sat over there with Lycan. You sat over there while he said that about Granny, right? You don't like Granny, so that was okay. You supported that. And then about the rope comment, right? That was somebody that came in there. And yeah, I heard, I seen where Noodle said, well, or I even heard, I think I heard her say it, that somebody came in there ablazing. And he made that rope comment. And yes, Noodle did say, don't say that, don't go there. Some people did say, don't say that, don't go there. When he made that rope comment, right? About take the rope, how to do it, whatever. That person did not go in there ablazing. All right. That's how I'm talking about twisting things to fit your narrative. And basically, you lied. Okay. That person came in there because I seen it. I seen it as it went down. That person came in there, and I don't know if Lycan was talking about Natasha, about the journal, or it was something about children. He wasn't really talking about negatively about someone's kid, but kids were being talked about because it was about, I think it was about the journal. And what they said is, will you not talk about kids? It wasn't like horrible or anything like that, but can you leave kids out of it? Or, leave kids out of this. Don't talk about kids or something like that. I'm sorry, that's not coming in ablazing. They didn't call him nasty names. They didn't call him, all the horrible things that some people call him. If you call that coming in ablazing, then you got some serious issues. And maybe you need to log off the tubes and you don't belong in this drama circle. That did not warrant him to say that to that person who I don't even know who it was now. But seriously, that is twisting things to fit your narrative, because that was not coming in ablazing. I watched that whole thing go down, okay? And you all know that's a bunch of BS. You just cannot afford to lose that community, okay? So you're going to go with it. You're going to go with it, all right? So then even after that, then the joke was around, okay, so you might not have liked what he said there, but then the joke kept going, well, nooses and ropes for everybody for Christmas. Yeah, that was funny, right? Funny, funny, funny. So, anywho, yeah, okay. We're all right with that. We're all right with that. And then he put the dirt out on Tiffany, too. I know they're all buddy-buddy again, but she wasn't okay with that, and she made a community post. And then he came back with another community post, and he's like, I'm not saying this word for word, but he's like, oh, you're going to go there? Well, everything's coming out about you. And he did. I mean, we kind of know now she's what? He put out that she's on meth and yada, 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 and she's this and that and this and that. Damage is already done. But she has nothing bad to say about him. Oh, no, she doesn't want all the deets out on her, all the tea. So they're okay now. And the subs were saying the most horrific things about Tiffany when he was doing that live. But, that's how these communities are. When the creator has an issue, like it's bizarre, then everybody can't stand them. And then, oh, no, we're cool. Okay, we love you. We love you now. You guys are bizarre. But anyways, that's what that was all about. But she keeps playing that over and over and over again. And oh my God, it's so disgusting. That's what she was trying to make a point. Why are you holding me to a higher standard than you hold the people you sit with? And she did say, I don't give an F about her mental health. I don't give an F about her. Now, that's not something I would say. But then again, I have to say, I don't know if I was in her position or TT's position with everything that is being done to them right now. And we are all seeing it. Okay? We are seeing it. And I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm not talking about, what is being done to Natasha, or what is being done to Lycan, or what is being done to yada, 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 yada. I'm talking about this situation What has been going on the last 2 weeks. That's it. Okay? What we have seen in the last 2 weeks. Not what is going on last year. Not what is going on with other people. Okay? What we are seeing the last 2 weeks. Because we know that we have seen a lot of bullshit. Okay? A lot of lies. A lot of fake stuff being put out there. That is what we've been seeing. And I would be saying this about any of if this was anybody else, okay? I don't care. You got to, if you're going to talk about behaviors, you got to talk, if you're seeing a train wreck like this, and this has been pretty major, right? It's been pretty major. So that's why I'm talking about it. It's what's going on pretty major right now. So I don't want to hear this, oh, what about a. This is what's going on right now these last 2 weeks. Okay? So that's where I'm going to end it. Like I said, there's a lot of different things that I missed that I could point out. Maybe I'll remember them and put them in comments. But again, this is going to be in 2 different videos. I probably won't even get this out until tomorrow, which is going to be the 3rd. Because I'll have to upload it or whatever. And we'll just see what happens. What happens on the 4th. I don't know if there'll be a continuance. Who knows? Hopefully it gets done and over with. So that this would maybe stop. Yeah, everybody needs to leave everybody's kids alone. I agree with that. I've said that from day one. Leave the kids out of this. Leave relatives out of this. Leave personal information. Leave everybody's personal information alone. If they don't bring it to you two, if they don't talk about, even if they, I don't even know. Some of y'all are just gross. That's all I got to say. You're just gross. I mean, you don't, the clapback is not even a thing anymore. Okay? I already said that I think this community is just, this whole community is just about done. It is just, it's gotten horrible. And it's worse than it has ever been. Ever. So with that, I'm going to go. And we'll just see. I'll see what video I put out next. I don't know.